Let me tell you something nobody else on this platform has the spine to say out loud. 99% of the setups that you're drooling over on r/unixpoint right now, the person running them could not rebuild it from scratch if you had a gun to their head. They copy pasted someone's dot files and just swapped the wallpaper, ran a screenshot tool, and called it a rice. That's not going to be you, not by the time this video ends, because in the next 20 minutes, I'm handing you the exact roadmap, the real one, that takes you from I just installed Hyprland and my whole screen is on fire, to a setup so clean the people who've been doing this for years ask you for your dots sliding into your DMs. No fluff, no 42 rabbit holes, just the path in order, okay? And the order is the whole game. Miss it and you'll spin your wheels for 6 months. Get it right and you'll move faster than people who started a year before you. So, stay with me. Now, before we start, let me make sure you're in the right room because beginner isn't one person, it's 3. Maybe you just jumped ship from Windows and you've never touched a tiling window manager in your life. Every keybind feels alien and you're quietly wondering what you signed up for. Good. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Maybe you've run tiling window managers before. i3, Sway, DWM, BSPWM, whatever your poison was. But Hyprland is new turf. You know the concepts, you just need the map. Perfect. Or maybe, and this is the big one, you've been on Hyprland for 3-6 months and you've hit a wall. Your races have stopped getting better, you've plateaued. You keep opening other people's setups thinking, how in the hell did they pull that off? Well, if that's you, lean in because I'm going to tell you precisely why you're stuck and precisely how to get unstuck. Now, here's why you should listen to a single word that I say, okay? I've been racing Hyprland for 4 years. Not 4 months, 4 years. I've personally taught around 650 people through my programs, and this channel has done, 2.8 million views across 300 videos. I don't tell you that to flex. I tell you that so that you can actually understand something. When I give you the order to do things in, it isn't a guess. It's scar tissue. I've made every mistake there is to make so you don't have to. There are guys out there who'll flash you a gorgeous config and call it a tutorial. I'm not here to show off my desktop. I'm here to build yours. That's the difference between them and me. 5 stages, okay? You want to follow them in order and do not skip because skipping is how beginners stay beginners. Write that down. So, stage 1. Let me make this easier for you and put this inside of writing, okay? So, 1 is install Hyprland. I know, sounds pretty fucking simple and too basic, but bear with me here, okay? You want to get Hyprland installed, and then this is the part everyone fumbles. You want to resist the urge to rice it. I know, contrarian, that's what you signed up for when you started watching. You installed Hyprland to make it pretty, but if you start bolting other people's configs onto a machine you don't understand yet, you're building a mansion on sand. The first thing you do is live in the default. Open the config. It's just text. Okay, by default, it's going to be a .conf file, which you open, hyprland.conf instead of config hyper. You open that, you read it top to bottom, even the parts that you don't understand yet. Next thing is learning your keybinds until they're muscle memory. How you open a terminal, how you close a window, how you move between workspaces, how you resize, how you toggle floating. If you have to think about it, you're not ready to decorate. A painter doesn't design a masterpiece before they can hold the damn brush. And one thing worth knowing in 2026, Hyprland's config moved to a Lua-based system. So if I show you what that looks like, Hyper modules, this is the Lua-based system that I'm talking about. Every single file has been converted onto Lua. So when you're following older tutorials, and you will be because half the internet hasn't updated, just know that some syntax is shifted. So don't panic when a config from 2024 doesn't drop in clean. That's pretty much expected. It's par for the course. You want to spend a few days here. Boring? Maybe. But this is the foundation the entire rest of your rice stands on. You nail it and everything after gets easier. Skip it and everything after gets harder. Your call. Then the second stage, stage 2. This is where it gets fun. The simple stack. The simple stack. Okay? Awesome. Now, what's this? Well, here's the thing that nobody tells beginners. You do not need Quickshell. You do not need to write a single line of code to make something that beats almost everything on UnixPoint. You need 4 or 5 tools and you need taste. That's it. So here's your stack. Okay, you want to memorize these names. Here too, I will write it separately so that it becomes easier. First thing is waybar. This thing is going to be your status bar. So clock, workspaces, volume, network, battery, system tray. This is the single most visible piece of your desktop and it's styled with plain CSS, so you want to learn it well. Second thing is going to be Rafi. This is your app launcher. That slick pop-up you hit a keybind for and then start typing. Yeah, that. Rafi is endlessly themable and it's what most of the beautiful launchers you've seen are actually built on, including the one that is used by Omarji. Third thing is going to be Sway and Seat. So this is your notification daemon. This is what notifications slide in looking clean instead of looking like a Windows 7 error box. Never mind. You know what? Notifications don't even pop up unless you have a daemon running, so Sway and C it is. You're going to be using this one. Fourth thing is W logout. So this is your power menu, the pretty grid of lock, logout, and suspend. Yeah, this thing, except it's full screen, that is handled by W logout. So in my case, it's handled by Quickshell because I've written it to, okay? But otherwise, you're going to be starting off with W logout just as I did. Small touch, huge polish. And you want to round it out with Hyperlock for your lock screen, Hyperlock for your lock screen, and AWWW or Hyperpaper for your wallpapers. I've made a video detailing the differences between the two daemons for wallpapers, so you can take your pick. One has animations and one is static, so depending on what exactly you need more, you're going to choose that. And that's basically the arsenal. So let me just write AWWW. Let me just make the choice for you. This is the choice. You want to go with this one. And this is the arsenal. And here's what I need you to actually hear. There's an absurd amount of juice to squeeze out of these tools. I've been doing this for 4 years and I still find new tricks in Waybar. When you've only used these for a few months, you've barely scratched the surface. 6 months is nothing in this game. There's a mountain of untapped potential sitting right there in the simple stack, waiting for someone with the patience to actually master it. And there's a hidden benefit here that most people completely miss. See, constraints breed resourcefulness. So if you can make something genuinely stunning with nothing but Waybar, Rafi, and Sway and C, with your hands tied behind your back, working inside real limits, you are forging yourself into an absolute weapon, because the day you finally pick up the heavy artillery, you won't fumble it. You'll already think like an artist. The person who mastered the simple tools first will run circles around the person who skips straight to the fancy stuff and never fucking learn taste. So, master this stack. Get to the point where a stranger scrolling Unix porn stops on your post. That's the bar for stage 2. Then we have stage 3. This one is going to be cohesion and taste, okay? Cohesion and taste. So what's this one about? This is where beginners separate from the pack, and it has almost nothing to do with tools, it's taste. Pick one color scheme and commit to it like your life depends on it. If you've seen the last, 30-something videos that I've made, I have literally used Ariadne in literally almost every single one of them. If I do switch themes, it's only for a brief period of time before I get back to Ariadne. That is consistency and commitment when it comes to choosing a color scheme. The number one thing that screams beginner isn't a missing feature. It's a desktop where the bar is one palette, the terminal is another, and the launcher is doing its own thing entirely. Discipline beats decoration every single time. You can use a tool like Matagen to generate a full palette from your wallpaper and push it across everything. Your terminal, bar, launcher, GTK apps, the lot. When your Firefox, your file manager, your terminal, and your bar all speak the same color language, that's the difference between a Linux setup and a rice. Okay? That's it. Then you want to get your details right. So consistent gaps, consistent rounding, consistent border radius. Get yourself a proper nerd font so your icons actually render instead of showing you little boxes of sadness. JetBrains Mono Nerd Font is a safe, gorgeous default. It's what I'm using over here, so you can use that. And you want to also theme your GTK app so opening a settings window doesn't shatter the illusion that you worked so hard to build. If I show you what my GTK app looks like, it's appearance, GTK settings. This is actually one called Ariadne Dark, which I made on my own. I've made plenty of videos on how you can make your own GTK 3 and 4 themes, so you can go ahead and check those out. But just know that adding this is going to add just a little bit of more flavor and professionalism. Yes, professionalism to your setup. So it's a core thing that you have to get done right. Cohesion, it's invisible when it's done right and screaming when it's done wrong. So master this, and even a minimal setup will look intentional, expensive, and about 10 years more mature than the person who just piled on effects. And this is usually the exact moment that it clicks for people. You realize that the barrier was never the tools. It was never some secret plugin. It was just knowing the order. It was knowing what to master in what sequence and what to ignore until later. That's the whole thing. That's what separates the person who's ricing beautifully in a month from the person who's still copy-pasting broken dots after a year, praying their setup doesn't break for the 67th time, only for that to happen yet fucking again. If that clicked for you and you want the entire path laid out end to end, every principle, every tool done with you instead of guessed at, that's exactly what I built Hyper Accelerator for. It's the first link in the description. It takes you through mastering the simple stack and the principles that prepare you to handle the heavy artillery later without blowing yourself up. It's a roadmap in this video expanded into something you can actually follow start to finish. It's there if you want it, no pressure. You can go ahead, click the first link in the description right now and check it out. Either way, you want to keep watching, okay? Because now we get to the part that changes everything. So now is stage 4, and this is polish. This is the layer that makes people go, wait, how the fuck is it doing that? Animations. Hyprland's animation system runs on Bezier curves and spring curves, and once you understand how to write your own curves, you control exactly how everything on your screen moves. The snap, the ease, the bounce. A good curve is the difference between a window that appears and a window that arrives. You can steal the macOS style physics if you want that premium feel. It's not hard once someone shows you the shape of it. And add blur where it earns its keep. Touch up your workspace flow so moving around feels like gliding and not clicking. Maybe dip a toe into a subtle screen shader if you're feeling brave. Just know that Hyprland shaders have their own rules, and a static rain effect will treat your GPU a lot more kindly than a constantly animating one. This is the ceiling of what the simplest stack can do, and it's a high ceiling. Most people never even get here, so if you make it through stage 4, you are, objectively, better than the overwhelming majority of people who call themselves racers. But some of you are going to look at that ceiling and feel something that the others don't. Which brings me to the 5th stage, what I call the plunge. So what is this about? Okay, let me tell you how I know this feeling, because I lived it. There came a point where my setup, the one that I'd almost poured a year into, was genuinely close to perfect, and it still didn't feel like enough. There was this itch, this sense that there was more that I could do, and I was right, there certainly was. Here's how I knew I'd crossed the line. I started opening up the code behind the big desktop shells, so Celestia, Dank Material Shell, Noctalia, and Forge setup, and instead of being scared of it, I was fascinated by it. I was drawn to it like a moth drawn to a flame. I couldn't help it. I'd be doing something completely unrelated and a random thought would pop up into my head about a component that I wanted to build for my own shell. I'd finish writing a simple number animation on a rectangle, watch it glide across the screen smoother than silk, and just feel alive. And that's the tell, because when you're in the simple stack, you're not writing code, you're writing config files. But when you start craving to write the actual code, that's your signal. That's the moment, which is exactly what's happening across the whole scene right now. In 2026, the center of gravity in Hyprland Rising has shifted hard towards Quickshell. That's the QML-based toolkit for building your own bars, launchers, lock screens, control centers, notification centers, the entire desktop shell from scratch. Celestia, DMS, Noctalia, the setups everyone's losing their minds over this year, they're all Quickshell underneath. That's the end game. That's the heavy artillery. So when I was standing there, I had a decision to make. Take the plunge, learn Quickshell, suffer for a while, and come out the other side with battle scars and forbidden knowledge, or take it easy, coast, and never leave my damn comfort zone. You already know what kind of person I am. I took the first option, and I succeeded phenomenally. Now, here's the part that I want to tie back directly to you, because let's be honest, you wouldn't have watched this far if you weren't a little bit like me. If you weren't one of us, if you were the coast forever type, you'd already be gone back to copy-pasting dots and praying. So knowing everything I know now, here's my honest read on your timing. The right moment to take the plunge is when you feel exactly what I felt. Your setup's at a good place, but you're restless. You want the smooth animations, the pop-ups, the cards, the layouts, everything the heavy artillery can do, and the simple stack simply just can't. That's when you switch to Quickshell, not a day before. You master the fundamentals first and then jump. So let's be straight with each other the way the closers are. There are two kinds of people watching this right now. There's the person who's gonna nod along, feel inspired for about an hour, and then do absolutely nothing. 6 months from now, they're in the exact same spot, telling themselves they'll get to it eventually. Now, we both know that person. Don't be that person. And then there's you, assuming you're still here, which tells me everything I need to know about which one you are. If you want the fundamentals done right, the entire roadmap from this video, expanded, structured, done with you, that's Hyper Accelerator. First link in the description. That's how you master the simple tools and the principles that keep you from blowing yourself up later. And if you already feel that itch, if you watched the Quickshell section and something in your chest said, that's what I want, then you don't need convincing. What you need is the principles behind a door you can open only if you're worthy. And that door is Max. Second link in the description. That's where I take you from complete beginner to building a full Quickshell shell from scratch. The kind of setup that you could eventually put together with your eyes closed. It is the most ambitious thing that I teach, and it's built for the people who are willing to push past the comfort zone that stops everybody else. I'm not gonna beg you to join. Winners don't need to be talked into their own upgrade. The people who belong in the room already know it. The only question is whether you move now or you tell yourself the same someday story that you've been saying for months. One of those builds the setup, the other one just keeps watching them. Whatever you decide though, subscribe. I put out the most no-nonsense Hyprland content on this platform, and if you're serious about this journey, you don't want to miss what's coming. If you like the video, hit like, and I will see you next time. Stay racing. Mwah.